Like, I think I went home and cried after that, because it was like, this is not okay. Like, I just knew I had to do something. So I think that is when I finally started my motivation of getting back to where I needed to be and getting healthy. And I mean, man, it's been hard. It's been very hard.
Hey guys, we're here with Jordan and Laura Lee Dean. They are a couple that work out at Fit People. They've been here for about a year. Jordan's been here for a little over a year. He started first, he was a spearhead, and then Laura Lee followed him in. She's been here almost a year.
Almost a year. End of August will be a year.
Right, yeah. So they're here to tell their story and kind of dive into, what led them here and what it took to get to where they are today and where they're at right now. So thank you guys for coming in and doing the interview.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for asking us.
All right, let's start off. So we'll just give basic numbers, I guess, for the first year. For Jordan, 13.3 total pounds down, 4.5 pounds added of lean tissue, body fat down 17.6 pounds. And that was just in 1 year of you being here. Laura Lee, since we don't have a year yet, we have about your first 9 months, so 41 total pounds down. Added some lean tissue, so we're about 3.4 pounds up, but body fat down a total of 19.6%. So those are great numbers to start off. A lot of people would be so excited to be in the shoes that you're in right now. So kind of give us a background of what led you to this point. Like, what led you, where were you before you started at Fit People? What were you doing? I guess we'll start with Jordan first.
Yeah, so absolutely. So we moved here to Birmingham area,
mid-March of 2018, so last year. Yeah.
So prior to that, we were living in Huntsville temporarily for about 15 months. Work had taken me there. Prior to that, we were in Dothan for about 5 to 6 years. When we were in Dothan, I'd get up and work out every morning, 4:35. Saw pretty good results. Always wanted more, but I saw decent results there. With the move to Huntsville and being there for about a year and a half, it was just kind of really difficult to work out at all. Mm-hmm. I was working a lot of hours. Quite frankly, there's just a lot of excuses. Mm-hmm. And it gained a lot of weight, completely out of shape. And so whenever we moved here, I said, talked to Laura Lee about it and stuff, and I said, I want to do something different. I got to do something different. And I'm not the type of person that can go to a gym and just do my own thing mm-hmm. and see results. Mm-hmm. I need kind of the group effort. I need kind of the encouragement, accountability from others, and things like that. So that's kind of what drove me to Fit People, and been here now for over a year.
Yeah, because we live right down the street. So I think I remember that was one of the first things that he said when we moved here. It's like, I'm gonna find me a gym. Like that was one of the first.
It was the closest one, to be honest.
And we live right down there, so every time we would go by, like, we would see it. And so I think he just looked it up and was like, well, I'm just gonna go and give it a try. And so.
And a funny backstory, like when Jordan was at Farley Nuclear Plant, I was with Southern Nuclear.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And I actually did an assessment on him. So it's funny how we come full circle. And
so first time I walked in, you looked at me, you're like, I know you.
I know that guy from somewhere. I know him. So
it's been a few years, but where's this at?
It's pretty cool how that happened. So
yeah. Well, I mean, mine's kind of starts off the same way. We exercised really well in Dothan, and we had a gym that we loved, and we went pretty much every day. I think for me, mine kind of started after I had Madison, because I exercised during pregnancy probably till about week 32, 33, and I was having some hip problems, and that was my excuse to stop. I still did some walking, but I wasn't going to the gym or anything. And then all of our moves, so I think we've moved 6 times in 6 years, almost 7 years. So
And you've
we're
moved
pretty
us
much
every
pros.
time.
Yes, I have.
You've moved us
I have
every time.
moved us every time. It doesn't get any easier. But going to Huntsville, that's also when I started my transition to be a stay-at-home mom. So a lot of changes. I don't really handle change so well, but
Who does?
I know it's hard, especially new city. We moved away from family, so I think it kind of got the best of me with that. I did join a gym in Huntsville, and I would take Madison with me, and I mean, we would go occasionally, but it wasn't something that I was super committed to. It was kind of an excuse for me to like have my time not away from her, but just to have some me time, because they had a child care area, and so I dropped her off. And then once we moved here, I joined the Y pretty soon after we moved here, because they had a pool, and I was like, oh, I can take Madison to the pool. And so we did that, but it was very inconsistent. I would go, they had some classes, so I'd go to the classes, and then sometimes I would just do my own thing. But then again, I did not know what to do. I mean, I would think, oh, I can do the elliptical for 30, 45 minutes, and I got my workout in, and that was good. So it wasn't until he joined in March, so we went on a trip beginning of August of that same year, last year. And I remember looking at those pictures and after the trip, and I'm just like, it did not look like me. Like, I think I knew I was not healthy. I knew I was not eating right. I knew I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing. I'd kind of let myself go a good bit. It was probably the heaviest I've ever been, even being pregnant with Madison. And seeing those pictures, I was like, okay, I've got to do something. He had been coming for 4 or 5 months, and seeing him work so hard, he was looking good. And even when we would go on vacation, he would be doing a workout when we were, at the lake or somewhere, y'all would send him a workout. And so he was very dedicated, and he was sticking to it. And so I'm like, okay, we talked about it, do you think I can go? So I came for an assessment. It was before a 6:15 class one morning, and Annie did my first assessment. And I mean, you can have all these feelings about yourself, like you're not healthy, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, but then seeing the numbers, seeing my body fat, seeing everything that you do at the assessment, and looking at it on paper was just daunting to me. Like, I think I went home and cried after that, because it was like, this is not okay. Like, I just knew I had to do something. So I think that is when I finally started my motivation of getting back to where I needed to be and getting healthy. And I mean, man, it's been hard. It's been very hard. But I knew, and I came home and told Jordan, I said, it's not, because I think he was going 3 days at the time. And so I told him, I was like, if I'm going to do this, I need to go every day. Like, I can't just go 3 days. I can't just, do a little bit. Like, we need to do this. And so he then did 5 days, and so we both did that. And I haven't really missed. I mean, I've tried to, come every day. I think I did. I think there's only a handful of times that I've missed, but I knew that that's what I needed to do to get where I wanted to be. And
I think part of it with you too is coming to that realization that you, like me, need that level of accountability at the gym.
Yeah.
Because when we moved here, I mentioned her. I said, hey, why don't we both join and things like that. She said, oh no. She said, well, save a few dollars. We'll go across. She's like, I can do my own thing.
Yeah.
I kept pushing her and saying, well, hey, that's fine if you want to do that. But I could also tell her, just kind of her overall view of it as well. I mean, I knew she wasn't getting the results that she desired.
Yeah.
And I never, as a husband, I'm always going to encourage her to do what she desires and things like that. But I knew ultimately, like me, she needed that level of accountability. And so after that trip, when we got back, is when she said, "Hey, I want to try it." And
Yeah.
So when you first started, as far as like how you felt coming in, to this environment and how it was maybe different from what you were doing at the Y or something different that you were doing in Huntsville, like how did you feel coming in, or like after your first workout, what did you feel about
Out of shape.
workout?
Yeah. Intimidated.
Completely out of shape. I wouldn't say intimidated, no. One of the things I love about fit people and stuff, like I don't feel intimidated working out with anybody. Like I don't, Taylor may sling a lot of weight around, and Annie, you lift a lot as well, but that's about, it's not like somebody throwing 500-600 pounds on, grunting like crazy and things like this. It's kind of our community is really all-inclusive, and to me, there's really kind of no intimidation whatsoever.
Yeah. Initially, I think just walking, for anyone, whether you've been working out for years or you're just starting out, like coming into a new place can be maybe not necessarily intimidating, but maybe intimidating, just like the nerves that you have and like the feelings, like you're just apprehensive about what you're walking into. And I think that's normal.
Yeah.
But then hopefully, like once you get in and realize, you start working out with some of the people, and that's what we want it to feel like, a sense of community and family, like you're just working out with people you've known your whole life.
Yeah. And another way, the way you guys structure the workouts, your tier process and things like that. I came in, I was the second tier from the bottom tracker. So I, had 3 tiers to go to be able to move up. And really I needed that, and honestly, that was kind of a drive for me as well. Like, I want to get to Predator. I want to be able to kill myself even more in the workouts. But it was a motivation. But it was good the way it came in. I wasn't, you guys weren't asking us to do, the most complex moves, stuff like that. You were asking us to do what you knew we could handle. And, there was times where I wanted to, move up faster, but I wasn't ready. And I, seeing it now, like I understand that the way kind of the process and how you guys handle those transitions really allows you to grow faster in the long run.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and that was my motivation at first, because I came in a tracker as well, and he was moving up, and so I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I'm competitive, and
we don't work out together.
So he does not like to work out with me. I don't know why.
It's not good.
But I knew I always, not to beat him, but that was also a motivation. I wanted to move up, but also I wanted to, be where he was, and so I used that a lot. And times where I was very impatient. I've learned a lot of patience.
Well, that was one thing I was going to ask too. Like through this process, like what were your frustrations in the beginning, or what were there times where you were just like, I can't do this anymore, or I just want to give up, or was there a time where it got to that point, or did
sleds?
It
Body
just
weight
during the
sleds.
workout, not just in
Body weight sleds?
Oh yeah, those are bad.
I think for me, and I think a lot of people struggle with this too, is if you're not seeing the results as quick as you want to. And that's one thing that I've learned a lot about, is it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a week, 2 weeks, a month. It's change is slow. And what's the phrase that you always use?
The tortoise always wins the race.
Tortoise always wins the race. That was like ingrained in my head, because at first, that's what I had to keep telling myself. Like, no, I'm not gonna jump to Predator after a month, or no, I'm not gonna.
She was close though.
I'm not
She was actually
gonna.
close.
3 months, yeah.
Yeah, she was.
But it's still, impatience and just wanting to get better quicker, or to see these results quicker. And so I think for me, that's what I struggled with. And I used that as motivation though, to just work harder. I always wanted to give it my all, because I knew that that's what needed to happen in order to do that. But yeah, I struggled with that a lot.
And I'll say this about y'all to this point, that this is hard. The whole thing is just hard. And nobody likes to be left behind. And you made the point, like you saw him going out in front, or you saw the Predators and you wanted to be there. Where most people will give up and fail. or they'll give up and they'll try to tear other people's buildings down because they don't like to be left behind. But you two together were like, no, what do I need to do to get there? And you went to work. And the patience is hard. Look, I mean, we're in in society where, like, we order something, it's there the next day, and it's Instagram. You see all this stuff, and everybody thinks that it happens overnight. The 6-week program, the fast fat loss programs, and all this stuff, and the quick fix, and for you guys to buy into, hey, or not buy into that, and buy into, like, I'm just going to go to work and I'm going to be patient, and we're going to let the cards lay wherever they lay. So
I remember one of the assessments we did, and at your 3-month, did you move to Hunter first? Okay, so I remember, I think it was that first 3-month assessment where you were like, I'm ready to get to Predator, because I think the class that you were coming to, there were more Predators and Trackers and Hunters and Seekers.
And he was a Predator.
And he was already a Predator. And you were like, well, I just don't want to work out by myself. Like, I just want to work out, do the same thing that they're doing, so we're working out together. And I remember asking you, well, if you were a Predator in a class full of Trackers, would you want to do the Tracker workout with them? And you were like, oh, that's a good point. Like, you're just like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then it was like it just
bringing me back down.
Yeah, like it clicked, and you're like, okay, the next stage is Hunter, and we're gonna do that, and work our way to Predator. So
Yeah.
But that's saying something, about you guys. I mean, you have accountability here with everybody, but you guys held each other accountable at home as well, and y'all believed in each other, and y'all believed in yourself. And you kept, the main thing, just keep moving, and y'all kept moving. And it's hard. I mean, it's, like you said, I mean, this is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be there. We hear it all the time. But, I mean, it really is true in the fitness world.
So in January, you both started the Healthy Body Challenge with us. And the Healthy Body Challenge is...
So, the Healthy Body Challenge, a little background. It's my turn to talk, I guess. It's something that we do. It's not a weight loss challenge. It's actually a healthy body challenge. So, like somebody that's already lean, we encourage they get points for losing body fat and gaining lean tissue. And if you crash diet, what's going to happen is you're going to lose points. You're actually going to do yourself a disservice by just crash dieting. So so we encourage people. It's a 3-month program, and we go in and we do their body comps at the beginning. And it's just kind of to jumpstart everybody at the beginning of the year, and we just measure points off of body fat, lean tissue gain, fat lost, and percent body fat change lost too.
A lot of the focus of the Healthy Body Challenge is body composition, but then also making other lifestyle changes other than what you're doing inside the gym. So making it full lifestyle instead of just workout, focusing on diet related to. So. Maybe just talk a little bit about that. Like, you both were in the challenge, and you both finished in the top 10. So how was that experience? So it's, what is this, July now?
Somebody finished higher than somebody else. somebody took the lead.
Like
and
I
somebody
said, I'm competitive.
But still, I mean, Jordan finished 10th, which is impressive overall. And Laura Lee finished 2nd. Which is impressive.
And that was in a field of guys and girls. There was a good mixture of people. So,
right.
I think for the last half of last year, before we did the Healthy Body Challenge, I think we saw a big difference in ourselves from just working out. But I will say, I did not realize the level of change we would see from actually
combining the two,
really understanding what you eat.
Yeah.
One of the things I loved about the Healthy Body Challenge is that I didn't eat whatever, but I realized my diet didn't have to be as restricted as I thought it would need it to be. And I think to some degree you would agree as well. When we first set out on it in the Healthy Body Challenge, you guys gave us a breakdown of our macros. The hardest part of it was probably the first few weeks. We measured out everything. I was probably kind of really strict sometimes, and I even asked, "Did you measure that correctly?" and things like that.
Oh my God, yeah.
But, actually understanding the numbers and what they mean and seeing how they impact your body, and then having some consistency there, and then go into the next month and making little tweaks to your macros, seeing those differences. One of the things that I think we saw at the end is after the Healthy Body Challenge was over, you actually increased your calorie count by another 200 calories per day, and changed the macros up a little bit. And you're, over the next month, I think it was a month later, y'all measured again, your lean body tissue actually went up a lot more.
I think 2 pounds.
A lot faster. So it was kind of interesting to me just kind of see how your numbers work. People would just tell Marley, a lot of friends and family and stuff, and just saying how great she looks and stuff, like, what are you eating? And it's like, it's not that simple.
And you too.
Understanding what your body can handle, and understand that right mix for us. But once we did that together, and we would kind of have our set plan, we knew, and it was all good food. But we kind of established our morning routine and our lunch routine for every day, and
Sunday afternoons were meal
prep. But it wasn't bad. And then our night meals would, we would just plug them in the previous day, and once we established kind of that meal plan for the week, it started to really become easy to where now we still track, but we don't have to track as much because we understand it. It's something y'all had talked about us a lot, is once you start to see portion sizes and things like that, you don't have to physically weigh out everything.
Yeah.
We needed to.
I agree with that. We learned a lot about nutrition, and I did. There was a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh, I can't eat that because of this, or this is good for you when it's really not. I learned a lot, and with the numbers that y'all gave us, it made a huge difference.
Just like what you just said, like where you were thinking that something was healthy versus figuring out that it wasn't as healthy as you thought it was. Like give an example of that, or if you can, just like was it just things that you had been told?
Ice cream's not healthy.
I think it was, that's a good question. I think I was just eating a lot more of things that I thought were good, but in moderation.
That said that they were good according to their package on their food.
Oh
or
yeah,
like that.
the label. Yeah.
There was a couple of things I think we kind of realized, but I can't really think of them off the top of my head.
Or this is low carb, or this is
But they're really not.
spinach and herb wraps or something, but you can't have multiple a day. Or I learned a lot more about carbs, I think.
Yeah.
For my main thing. And protein, but just that I need a lot more protein. But, how much you can have in a day, or even though it's healthy doesn't mean you need to eat a lot of it. Or I think that's a lot of what I learned too, is just portion. Something would be healthy, but but I can't. That doesn't mean I need 3 servings of it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I said that. I was like, oh, that's a good question. Okay, so at the end of the challenge, like we said, you finished off at 10th and you were at 2nd. So at overall, I think total 45 pounds of just body fat that was lost. And Jordan, your body fat percentage went down from almost 21% to 12% in that first year. Because at the time that we had finished the challenge, that was your 1 year mark. So if you had to give advice to somebody who was about to start, or who's thinking about starting, or who's watching this video and just thinking, there's no way, that's great that they did it, there's no way that I could. What piece of advice do you have for anyone?
Well, come to Fit People. Have an assessment.
You got to jump in.
Yeah.
And I think you also have to be realistic about expectations. It doesn't happen quick, but you guys really love about both of you guys. Y'all lay out everything we need, from the workouts to the nutrition and things like that. That you got to embrace it. and if you want to see that change, you can make it happen.
Yeah.
You got to jump in and commit to it. And then, the accountability here is fantastic. I mean, it's, just seeing everybody. I mean, it's, I work out every morning with the same group of people, and I love it. It's just that level of accountability there and encouraging on a day-by-day basis to push yourself to do more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think expectations is a big thing. Knowing that it's not going to happen overnight, you're not going to come in and be the best person, or you're not going to see results right away. But you just got to stick with it. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing that I could say is you've got to have that dedication and knowing that you're going to give it your best in order to see results. Because it doesn't happen overnight, and it's not.
It seems like
a
it
quick
takes
fix.
forever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but it's worth it.
But it's been a year, and it's been 2
Yeah.
months now.
Yeah.
Does it feel like at this point that it's been forever?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
And part of me, part of the thing is just as far as embracing it, it's like embrace all of it. Understand the nutrition side too.
Yeah.
Because you can't just work out and then still eat what you want, drink what you want. I mean, if you really want to see the change that you're desiring, you've got to head full on and understand it's not just workout, but it's also about your nutrition as well.
It's a whole lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we've learned. And I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at without him, because it's, we had that
Vice
accountability
versa.
at home too. And you got to stick with it. I mean, it's easy. And this is what I've always, or someone told me this, or I don't know, but it's so much easier to get out of it than it is to get back in. And so it's so easy to just, stop or not come back, but then it's so much harder to get back into it. And so once you're in it, you just have to stay and
Fine.
stick with it.
Yeah, just keep pushing forward and finding a way.
Keep moving.
Keep moving, no matter what. We're all going to fall down, right? So
Yeah.
let's make sure when we fall, we're rolling forward and then get back up.
And that's what, we try, even like when we're out of town or on vacations, we try, and if we're, gone during the week, y'all send us a workout. Like, we try and just keep, because I know if I miss a day, it's just, I guess
and
that's
easier
what's
to
ingrained
do.
in my head now. I can't miss.
Right.
Or I don't want to now either.
Yeah.
After being here,
I
it's,
think that's more of it too. Like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I enjoy coming. I enjoy being here.
Even at 5 a.m.?
Even at 5 a.m.
Even when I wear my short shorts and
Absolutely, absolutely. But I when I travel, I miss being here.
Yeah.
But still getting to do the workouts and stuff like that. It's it helps me. But
yeah.
it's about just jumping in and going for it.
well, we're super proud of you guys. For believing in us and trusting us with the training, but like I said, and you said it, it's hard, and for you just to keep your nose down and keep busting through those walls and all those excuses and to get to where the point you are right now. It's hard to think that when you started you'd be where you are right now, but the cool thing about it is that we're just a year, not even a year in, so we're just getting started. Y'all are young and y'all have got a long time to, hopefully, God willing, to get better and to get more and keep that carrot out in front of you. So it's impressive, and your story not only motivates other people, and you help the people that you work out with and motivate them, but it also motivates us, because it's the whole reason why we want to do it is really to change lives. And when we have down days and stuff, and then you all come in and do the assessment and we have a victory, we're like, yes, it's our victory too. It's exciting for us, and we wouldn't have that. We give you the tool, we give you the hammer, we give you the nail, but if nobody uses it, it's not worth anything, right? It's just a paperweight. And y'all take that hammer and that nail and y'all build something. Y'all do the work. We just recommend it, and it's pretty cool to see, to be part of it. So thank you all for that.
Absolutely. One thing I didn't even just kind of thinking about as part of the journey as well is the Mercedes that we ran in, was it spring of this year?
It's February.
February.
Yep.
And, you know, training for that, I ran the 10K. I've never ran that far. And, you know, every day coming back and talking to y'all, you giving me the, you know, how much to run today, you know, what to do for the week and stuff like that. Those times I hated y'all. But the encouragement there and allowed me to run. I mean, it's still only 6 miles, but
It's a long.
that's a long way
Yeah,
for me.
it is. 6 miles
It's a
is a long
lot.
way.
You know, the level of encouragement you gave there, and then as far as just fit people in general, and just having teams to where we were supporting each other, we were pushing each other, and being different legs and training together was really cool as well.
Yeah, it was fun. Do it again next year in Laura.
Yeah.
She can run for me.
I think I did say I would. I can't take that back.
Yeah, she did.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate y'all being here to take the time to just tell us, you know, about your last year, but then also, like Taylor was saying, just the amount of support that y'all have had for us and for fit people, and then for also, you know, people that are in your classes. Like, people see how hard you work and they recognize it, and it inspires so many people just within our little bubble here. So we appreciate how hard you work and how positive you are, and we're excited to see what happens in year 2.
Thank you.
Thank you all as well.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, like the page, because I'm going to start doing a bunch of interviews. So I think that's what you're supposed to say when you're YouTube. Like the page below, click subscribe, down below. So thanks, guys.